Protesting ain't gonna help us, man.
What it's like for a nigga like me. 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 Gray skies and this isn't looking like me, but I try to do the right thing like SKYPE. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. Yeah,
Lord, please have mercy on me.
have mercy on me. Have mercy on me. Ain't no joke, man. This shit ain't no joke. Like the boy cry, we'll fight long, no smoke. You don't gotta look far to see it. Ain't no hope for this fucked up world. I'm just trying to stay afloat. I grew up in the ghetto in the middle of the streets. HELL, the belly of the beast. Thanksgiving came around, I wasn't having no feast. When the landlord talking about breaking out leaks. God damn, what's next? My girl brother with your boy, and she did it in a second. I couldn't have nothing that I could have. Love besides love for the money and selling these drugs. Sometimes it seems like it's the only way out, but every day I'm getting older and it's getting played out. Can't end up in the pen trying to find a way out. Looking for my chance, for my heart gave out. That died. Biggest loss I ever had to take. He a big part of the reason I'm the man I am today. And moving on was a move I wasn't trying to make, but I got sons now, so I gotta leave them out straight. And even though success is looking unlikely, I stay mighty and pray nightly and remain doing the right thing like Spike Lee, which is hard in this life for a nigga like me. All my life I had to fight like my name's no fear. Always had heart and in my heart was no fear. Boy, I stayed in trouble always stay near. When you black in the mirror, it's like cold here, I can't lie. Some days I wanna break down and cry. For me and my people is fighting to stay alive. Cause living ain't living when you living to survive. Guess we living in hell, so the heavens arrive. Now I mean,
What it's like for a nigga like me. 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 Gray skies overhead, this isn't looking like me, but I try to do the right thing like SKYPE. And I talk to God, the one and almighty. Lord, please have mercy on me.
have mercy on me. Yeah,
Lord, please have mercy on me.
have mercy on me.
Have mercy on me. What it's like in this life for a nigga like me. Every day I gotta fight my demons. Wake up, thank God I'm breathing. Cause all nightmares, America's dreaming. Try to find a way to make it while surrounded by heathens. No stress long as I got a coat and I'm eating. I'm blessed and I know the most high's the reason. But my heart's bleeding, but my sleep is seeping. For all the things that I've been peeping. Type of shit make you say fuck it and sleeping. That's why you was sleeping during the evening. My brother got gunned down over the weekend. Stretched out in the streets, left leaking. Laid out, white sheet, mom's grieving. All lives gonna have more meaning than another nigga dead in the paper I'm reading. Baby mama bitching every time she's speaking. Talking like she's gonna take the chance she's leaving. How we go from kids to ending up in the deep end? Sink or swim, lose or win, sin or sin. Where does the shame begin? And when does the bullshit end? Cause I wake up in the morning, gotta do it again. Go to sleep, go to work, and just do it again. Damn. Can't pretend, cause when you stand out, it's hard to blend. And what I stand for, don't fall to bend. Cause I heard real folks don't got too many friends. When he speak the truth, then he can't offend. When I whip in his pen, Lord, please have mercy on me. Amen. It's time for my people to come together and rise up. The only way we're gonna take our royalty back, man, is if we do just that, man. Take it back. Kwame Yashala, nigga.
Any man give his life for Yahawashi, my Shalom Christ, and fall up under that UPK banner. Is my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. Take breath. Now this ain't no movement, this is take that. We would not be moved or intimidated. We ain't the type. You got a problem, tell us, cross the fucking line. My niggas get a hoop, you got your gun, then pull it. Me, my niggas not a hard, you miss my who gon' fight the bullet. He gon' take round, take round. Opponents better move slow. Attack dog for this truth, nigga, cool down. On the ground, 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 on the ground.
All right, Shalom. This is Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West on 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. This is Officer 500 Habanah with Officer 1000 Amathia, bringing you this Wednesday law class as we do every week. And I.S.U.P.K bringing you this truth every single day since 1969, as usual, you understand? So obviously we still in the celebration of the dedication, you know what I'm saying, the Feast of the Dedication. So you know, that's why we still, you know, we still in celebration of that. But today what I wanna do is I kind of wanna pick up where I left off last week as far as the what would Christians do. It's kind of like you know, why we pretty much name some things that the Christian church teach you, or some of the phrases that what they believe or whatnot, and then we kind of go in the Bible and we just but we go in the Bible and disprove everything that they saying. I'm gonna do a couple of them before I start my lesson, because today's lesson is actually something that I've went over before, but like I said, I like to touch bases on things that I went over before, because not everybody was able to actually go over these classes. So if there's any questions online, or if there's any questions in the room, I'll be happy to take questions right now if we have anything. Go ahead.
If I could, break down Jeremiah 33, verse 25 and 26.
All right, let's go to it. You got that? 33 what?
Verse 25 and 26.
I think 25.
I got it, sir.
25. You said 25.
25, 26. I got it.
All right, give me a second. Let me get the 25 and 26. You think you can get under that? Go ahead and read it.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 35.
33.
Salaki. Verse 33.
No, sir.
Chapter 33, verse 25. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, verse 26, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. For I will cause their captivity to return, and have mercy on them.
Go up a couple verses.
Go up a couple verses. Okay. I'll start at 23. It's the book of Jeremiah.
Go to 20. Go to 22.
Okay. It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 22. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea numbered, measured, Salakia, so will I multiply thy seed of David, my servant, and the Levites that ministered unto me. Verse 23, moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, considerest not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them.
I got it. Okay, so read verse 24 again?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 24. Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which the Lord hath chosen,
Okay, so he says, considerest thou not what this people have spoken? So obviously this is some people saying these things against the, you know what I'm saying, against the children or whatnot. Keep reading.
The two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off. Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation.
So before them, right? So at this point, we still at the point where that this is what they're saying, these people are speaking. Then 25 says, thus saith the Lord. So this is the Most High speaking. It says, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David my servant. So it's like a cut. It's like the Most High is cutting what these people are trying to say about who he gave this covenant to.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, if it ever come a day where this is not with these people, this is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like this covenant, like it's like him saying, it's like basically he know who he gave the promises to. He know who he gave the covenant to. You understand what I'm saying? He gave the covenant to who? But specifically, like these families, this lineage. There's three names. Right. You understand what I'm saying? You want, give me 1 second. You see what I'm saying? He gave that to these three. So he's saying if these three don't, if by any chance they mess it up, by any chance, you know what I'm saying, if possible, you know, I'm I'm paraphrasing. I think I would ask this question in scripture breakdown classes, but you know what I'm saying? You had something you wanted to say?
Okay. So just like the covenant that he's saying.
Matter of fact, Officer Tazadak here, he can actually probably address that question if you would, sir. Let's read it again. Let's start from the top.
Okay. We're going to start at Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 22. Yeah. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant, the Levites that ministered unto me. Verse 23, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah, saying, verse 24, considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying the two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? Thus they have despised my people, that they should be no more a nation before them. Verse 25, thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth. Verse 26, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob and David, my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
He wanted to break down, sir.
Over Jeremiah chapter 33, verses 25 and 26.
What's the specific, who asked the question?
Trooper Ron.
What's the specific question that you had?
I just wanted clarity on it as far as
okay, just specifically just verses 25 and 26. Okay, read that.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 25.
Hold on right quick 1 second. As soon as we get the sodas and the water cooled out, we'll start serving food. What I want is I want the sisters to go ahead and serve the food. So whenever that food is ready to be served, you'll go ahead and serve the food. Since we don't have that many people, we'll go ahead and do it in ranking order. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 33, verse 25. Thus saith the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth.
All right, so pause right there. What does that mean? If my covenant, my covenant what?
My covenant
Be not with day and night. What does that mean? What is the covenant? But what is the covenant?
Salaki, the covenant that this scripture is referring to is the scripture from the beginning, Well, the Most High created night and day.
Right.
Then he said that, then night would come, that'll be a new day, and then day. And if I have not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, verse 26, then I will cast away the seed of Jacob and David, my servant.
So what does that mean? So, all right, so he's being sarcastic.
Right.
You understand? Right. So basically, it's just like when Christ said, until heaven and earth pass away, not one jot, not one tittle, it shall no wise pass from the law. You understand?
Right.
You got it now? All right, go see.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what I was saying. You know what I'm saying? He was cutting, because you got to understand when you go into where it say, moreover, where it says verse 24, where it say, consider thou not what these people have spoken. It's no different from when the Most High was saying, when Moses came to the Most High saying, the people questioning, about his name. You know what I'm saying? And he or questioning what he spoke to Moses to give to them. And they questioning Moses, ask him his name or whatnot. And he say, I am that I am. Basically saying he cutting them, you know what I'm saying? He's like basically, you questioning me, I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? I am him. I am he. You know what I'm saying? So it's no different. The Most High, you got to understand, this is a black person's book. You understand what I'm saying? This is a Negro book. You know how Negroes are. You know what I'm saying? You get a silly question from Scoffer or something like that. You gonna answer in a sarcastic way. You know what I'm saying? So that's all that is. You got to just understand that. Any more questions in the room? Is anybody on? I need one of y'all on Facebook to see if there's any questions online or YouTube. All right, no sweat. Any questions in the room? Did I see your hand go up? You had a question?
Live, sir. I just was going to expound a little bit on what you were saying.
Go ahead.
Like when aspect of when Moses, when the God of the Bible was speaking to Moses, and Moses looked down and he saw that the people were sinning. They had built that gold calf, and God was about to wipe us out. But Moses said, "Hey Lord, you know what I'm saying? Would you bring these people into the wilderness after you deliver them out of the hands of Pharaoh, for them to see that you have destroyed your people that you chosen?" You see what I'm saying, Ron? That's all the question was about. You understand what I'm saying? Is that the messenger was talking to the prophet and was giving him that example of the covenant, that since the covenant that the Most High created with night and day, and the covenant that he made with the ordinances of heaven, by giving the law and how everything operates upon the face of the earth in perfect order, right? So he made a covenant with the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So if those ordinances and that day and night covenant went away, then that's when he would do away with the God's chosen people.
Right. Which is right, which is never.
Right.
It ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? So you got a question? Go ahead. All right, hold on, let's get there.
But Ron, a precept for that is Matthew 18:15. Sorry, not Matthew 5:18, where it says, "To heaven and earth pass away." Yeah, I think it's Matthew chapter. So you want to write this down in your precept book as an example. It's literally saying the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? In one case, it's talking about the covenant the Lord made, you know what I'm saying, for the sun to rise, you know what I'm saying, and set for the new day. Until that covenant is broken, you know what I'm saying, then Jacob, his covenant with Jacob will be no more. You feel me? What is it? 5:18. So that would be a precept for that. All right. That's it.
All right, so Officer Yeshaya, what we at now?
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, verse 10.
11 verse 10. All right, go ahead and read it for me.
My son, meddle not with many matters. For if thou meddle much, thou shalt not be innocent. And if thou follow after, thou shalt not obtain,
Mm-hmm.
neither shalt thou escape by fleeing.
All right, so when it say my son meddle not with many matters, that's for one, that's a problem that we have today. You know what I'm saying? We always in somebody like you in business that doesn't concern you for one. You understand what I'm saying? And you know, just like Proverbs is like Ecclesiasticus is also a book of wisdom too. You understand what I'm saying? So when it say meddle not with many matters, what you think that means?
Don't be other people's business.
Just mind your business. You understand what I'm saying? And it says, for if thou meddle much, meaning if you constantly worried about what's going on over here, you understand? It says, thou shalt not be innocent, meaning you're going to end up getting your hands dirty. You understand what I'm saying? You worried about, like you so worried about what they doing over here that's unrighteous. You're going to end up being unrighteous, worrying about what they got going on. Meaning your hands is going to be dirty. In order to keep your hands clean, just stay away from it. Just stay out of it. Go ahead, you want to say something?
Just add on what you were saying. Just to give like a better example, you know what I'm saying? If a brother is talking about another brother and he ain't went to that brother alone first, you see what I'm saying? And you know, talk about that brother, whatever issue you got, that's just like you unclean because you saying it because you talking about this brother hadn't did the right thing and went to that brother. You know what I'm saying? It's a metaphor, but you know what I'm saying? It's the ballpark of what the scripture's saying though.
Right, yeah. So if you like you know, it's basically what it's really talking about. You know what I'm saying? And all in the nutshell, just kind of don't be worried about too much. You stay focused on the right track. You understand what I'm saying? Do what you got to do. Is that it on that? All right. What I want to do is I kind of want to before I go into the lesson, like I said, I wanted to you know, catch back up from last week. You know what I'm saying? And pick up where I left off. I just want to name. I want somebody to name, whether it be online or in the room. Like, give me some things that Christians like to, what Christians say, and then we're gonna go in the scriptures and we're gonna disprove it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna prove that it's wrong according to scripture. Go ahead.
I got one thing. They say, well, you can eat pork now, baby. It don't matter no more.
Right.
You know, in church they teach us, you know, baby, hey, it don't even matter no
right.
more. You know?
Okay, so that's a good one. Like you said, you know, it's like basically the law's been done away with. In a nutshell, he's trying to say like the law of the dietary law has been done away with. But we actually just had the precept, and we actually got a question like this last week when we went to the same precept. Go to Matthew 5:18. Since we already just pulled the precept, we're gonna go ahead and reiterate it. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's very important, and you're gonna get this a lot. This is probably gonna be one of your main go-to scriptures when dealing with Christians, because they love to try to use things that's pertaining to the law. You can also use what's another one? Give me somebody else. Give me about law, the grace may abound. Is that the one? What's it? God forbid. Give me that one if I could, and then get somebody else get the other one he just said. Hebrews 8:8. Which one is that? The one I was talking about, God forbid. Go ahead and read it.
17.
Oh, okay. 5:17. Go ahead.
Matthew 5:17. Think not that I have come to destroy the law,
right,
or the prophets.
It says, think not. This is Christ speaking. Think not that I've come to destroy the law or the prophets. Because you know the Christians love to try to say that's what Christ died for. He died for our sin, meaning that's what we covered by the grace of God, by the grace of, you know what I'm saying, the Most High. We covered through the blood of Jesus. That's what they try to say, but this is what Christ saying on the matter. Go ahead.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Meaning he ain't come to destroy the law. Meaning he ain't come to teach you anything other than the law. He ain't coming to destroy it. That's how you destroy the law, by teaching the people not to follow it. You understand what I'm saying? So he says, I have not come to destroy the law or the prophets. So meaning everybody that came before him speaking his truth, he ain't come to tear down what they built up. You understand what I'm saying? Just like in I.S.U.P.K, you know, we follow the men that came before us. But we're not going to tear down what they built up. You understand what I'm saying? Whether that is like what I'm what y'all have said is, as far as brotherhood and everything, all this brotherhood that these men before us that built, you understand, we can't let petty things like cause us division. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Because like we can't tear down what has been built since 1969. Right. You understand? So it's no different from what Christ is saying right here. He said, read that again.
Think not that I have come to destroy the law or the prophets.
Meaning he ain't come to tear down what they built up. to teach this truth. You know what I'm saying? So he taught from the Old Testament. He taught those same laws that the law of Moses. You understand? He taught these same laws. He ain't come to destroy what Moses set forth, because the Lord put Moses there to deliver this, put this law out there. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what he's saying. Keep going on.
I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill.
Meaning he come to fulfill, meaning he gonna live by that same law that you trying to say that we don't gotta live by no more. He's coming to fulfill it, meaning he's gonna live by it, and teach it. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Verse 19.
Hold on.
When it says fulfill, what it's talking about is the prophecies. You understand? So when it says that he didn't come to destroy but fulfill, because in the prophecies, it was saying in the old prophets, you know what I'm saying, it was prophesied of what he would do. You understand that he would save his people. You understand that he would be the light of the world. He would be the seed of David.
Right.
You understand? So he didn't come to destroy, but he came to fulfill what his portion was that was prophesied before him. You understand? Now, what Christians like to say is, see, he fulfilled everything. You know what I'm saying? But the scripture says until all be fulfilled. Have you got to that part yet?
Not yet.
That's what read.
Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled.
Stop. So that's ball game. What you do when you deal with a Christian, first and foremost, first question you ask them, is the earth still here? Are we still standing on solid ground? Are the heavens still here? Are they gone? Okay, so that's one red flag. Second red flag, you ask them, has Christ came back? Has the war happened in Armageddon? You know what I'm saying? In a place called Armageddon. You understand? Has the angel poured the bowl over the sea? You know what I'm saying? Has there been famine and pestilence in the land? Has the great world woe the third world woe happened?
Right.
You understand? So clearly all things have not been fulfilled. You understand? Has the kingdom came back? You understand? Has Esau gone into slavery?
Right.
You understand? This is how you cut a Christian.
Right. Yeah. So read that again though, to heaven and earth pass.
Verse 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass.
Right. So until you see if you look up and you don't see the sky no more, you look beneath your feet and you don't feel the earth under your feet no more, see the earth under your feet. Go ahead.
One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law.
So not one crossing of the I. I mean, so like not one crossing of the T or one dotting of the I will be removed from the law in no wise. You understand? Until all be fulfilled. You understand? So that's what they're saying. Give me another one. Some Christians. Who got the Hebrews 8? Read it. Hold on. Go ahead.
It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 8. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah.
With who?
The house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Keep going.
Verse 9. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
Because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord.
So even with the old covenant, with the old promises, we were breaking the law then. That's why he established the new covenant. You understand what I'm saying? Like to keep the whole, like what was the point? What's the point of establishing the new covenant when he had to establish the new covenant because we were breaking the laws and broke the old covenant. So if we didn't have to keep the law no more, what was the point of establishing a new covenant? You understand what I'm saying? In the first place, it's kind of like oxymoron. You know what I'm saying? What was the point? You know, but I want to get that other one before we move on. It's another scripture I'm looking for. Yeah, get that for me real quick. Go, you got a question or something? Or you finna read that? Go ahead, read that for me.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 1. What shall we say then?
Right.
Shall we continue in sin?
See, this is what Christians love. This is Christianity 101. You know what I'm saying? Like they feel like just because Christ died on the cross or died for their sins, that they can continue to do it. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the world, I was guilty of it too. I used to, like I said, man, I'm talking about, I'm pretty sure in the Old Testament, they used to have probably like 10 bulls lined up, already ready to be slaughtered, waiting for them to sin. You know what I'm saying? 10 sheep just like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and sin today. Let me go and get me a buck ready. You know what I'm saying? Let me go and get ready to slaughter them. You know, that's how we were doing when I was in the world. You know, I'm already asking for forgiveness before I even sin. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it was. That's how wicked it is, you know. But that's like defeats the whole purpose of Christ dying for you.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, why you gonna, if you got bills due, why you gonna wait till you get the red notice to pay them? You understand what I'm saying? Like, you want to pay your bills before you get the red notice. Because once you get the red notice, it's too late now. Now you got to go to court. You understand what I'm saying? Now you getting is eviction. Like when you get that first little yellow slip, it's like, now you know, okay, now right around the corner, you pushing it. You need to go and pay it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you don't pay it on this date, yeah, you might have another 30 days before we come and give you that red notice. But it's best to go and pay it now. So that's the same thing with, you know, keeping these laws. You don't want to wait till your grace run out and Christ return. Then what? That's the red notice. It's too late then. Go ahead.
The church also say that they under grace and mercy, so that's why they can sin willfully.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're trying to use this grace as for them to say that they can sin. But what this grace is, you need to stop sinning and get yourself right before this run out. Like, keep reading. Go ahead.
What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? Verse 2. God forbid.
What happened?
God forbid.
You understand, right? So that means, like, stop worrying about the whole grace period thing. Get yourself together now and make your election sure. That way you don't even have to worry about it. Guess what? What the scripture said about Christ coming? How you gonna come? On the same. Read verse 15.
Come, sir. What then? Shall we sin because we are not under the law, but under grace?
Right.
God forbid.
So that cuts the whole Christianity, but thinking that they under grace. It says, read it again.
Come, sir. Romans chapter 6, verse 15. What then? Shall we sin?
It says, shall we sin? Go ahead.
Because we are under the law, but under grace.
It says, shall we sin for we are not under the law, but under grace? Like, so that's basically, this is Christianity right here. You cutting them saying, shall we sin since we not under the law no more, but we under grace? Go ahead.
God forbid.
God what?
God forbid.
Meaning hell no. You understand? Lie. Go ahead.
One thing, somebody give me Matthew 5:19. One thing about grace is Christians don't realize what grace is. You get a grace period when you don't pay your bill on time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's say your bill is due on the 1st. You got about 16 more days for them lights go off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the same thing as was Christ come back. You got till Christ come back until you die to get yourself right.
Right.
Somebody read that for me.
The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 19. Whosoever therefore shall break one of the least of these commandments.
Read that one more time.
Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments.
So if you break at least one of these commandments, go ahead.
And shall teach men so, and he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven.
The greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
The least in the kingdom of heaven.
The middle in the kingdom of heaven.
The least in the kingdom of heaven.
So you see right now, this is the white man's kingdom. Right now, would you say that that's correct? So when you see another white man on the corner begging for change, he is least in his kingdom.
Right. That's fact.
Dude, is that what you want to be in the kingdom that your people are supposed to be live in?
Right.
You will be least in that kingdom. I ain't trying to be on no corners.
That's right.
I'm trying to have castles.
Right.
I'm trying to have a white man give him some scissors and say, you better cut this grass and it better be done by dawn.
That's right.
So Salagi, if I could, scissors. You've been a little too nice. I mean, Salagi, I'm trying to tell them to use their teeth. It's just enough. You can sharpen it on the concrete. You understand? Salagi to cut you off. You've been too generous. You know what I'm saying? For what they've done to our people, we talking like what Deontay Wilder say 400 years. Even though that damn coon. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even want to get on him, man. But you know, we just gonna go with the messenger. I mean, the message for right now. we ain't gonna go with the messenger. But what he was saying was heavy, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, and he said to this day, you know what I'm saying? We still going through it. You had something you wanted to say, I'm Shalom?
Yeah, so I want to, you know how they always you go to the book of Acts, chapter 20, verse 7. I'll read it.
Go ahead.
And it goes, and upon the first day of the week, when the disciples came together to break bread, Paul preached unto them, ready to depart on the morrow, and continued his speech until midnight. That's what the Christian church used to say that, you know what I'm saying, they can have church on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Right. Instead of keeping the Sabbath like we do. You understand? But to cut a Christian, you go to Acts chapter 2, verse 46, and it says, and they continuing daily with one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness in their heart. You see what I'm saying? So they didn't just break bread, you know what I'm saying, on the first day of the week. They broke bread every day. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the Christian church, how they try to say that, you know, church supposed to be on Sunday, and that's a damn lie.
Well, you know, Christians, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody know Christians that have a Bible in their house, just sit there collecting dust and spider webs.
What was that verse?
Which one on the one?
The one you just read, Acts what?
The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 46.
Read that one more time.
Make the mic working back. The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 46. And they continuing daily with one accord in the temple and breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart.
That is also another precept for when Christ was sitting down with the disciples, what Christians like to call the Last Supper.
Right.
When he tried to say, when Christians say we're going to eat this bread every Sunday, when Christ told them y'all should do this daily, it's the same thing. Christ was just telling them to get together with each other daily and break bread with one another. It's the same thing.
But you know how the Christian church, they give you that little piece of cracker, you know, and some little cranberry juice, and say this for the blood, and this for the
if that's the case, I can eat that every single day in the fridge. You know what I'm saying? I got some grape juice in the refrigerator and crack in the cabinet. You know what I'm saying?
Right, sir.
And that's all. And for it, it was all a metaphor anyway. When you say, you know, eat of my flesh and stuff like that's all a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're supposed to walk in the same walk that I've set forth for you. That's why we're doing these things that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's why we go out there and teach the people like we do. We go to the highways and byways. We follow the example set forth before us, like what Christ did. You understand what I'm saying? And continue that legacy. You know what I'm saying? Until he returned. That's how it's gonna be. All right. So I kind of want to get the lesson. The sisters, y'all can go ahead and start serving the food. Let's try to limit it to like 2 at first, and then we'll just go from there. Make sure you start ranking order, and get that done and decently in order. You understand what I'm saying? While they do that, all right. So what I want to go into is basically, I'm gonna briefly touch on the creation, touch on how Adam and Eve, you know what I'm saying? They, like, contrary to popular belief, they were not the first people on the earth. You understand what I'm saying? But in order to, let's start with Isaiah 28 and 9. I'm gonna start with that first before I go into the lesson.
Isaiah 28 and 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Right. And
whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
So in order to, get this, like, in order to teach this truth, you can't just start with, you can't just like when you was your first year in school, you was a pre-K. You didn't learn your ABCs from Z to A. You learned your ABCs from A to Z. You understand? You started with A, B, C, D one day, then E, F, G, H, I, J, you know what I mean? And then every day you learned a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. So that's the same thing how you need to learn these scriptures. You first coming into the truth, you can't just jump. I remember when I was in the world, I read the whole Bible from back and front, and I don't remember a damn thing of what I read because I was in the world. I just thought that's how you're supposed to learn the Bible. You just read it. You know what I'm saying? But how you really supposed to learn the Bible is keep reading.
Then what are weaned from milk and drawn from the breast?
Start from the top again.
Whom shall he teach knowledge?
Uh-huh.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Right.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
First of all, like in the beginning of the verse, it said, whom shall he teach doctrine? Whom, read it from the top again.
Whom shall he teach
Hold
knowledge?
on. Whom shall he teach knowledge? You understand what I'm saying? It don't say she, first of all. Let's get that squared away. It say, whom shall he teach knowledge? Meaning, you have to, it means two things. Women can't teach this Bible. The second thing is, you have to learn from somebody. You have to learn from a man. So you can't teach yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is something you can't teach yourself. You can't just pick up a Bible and say, yeah, I'm an ordained priest. I'm just going to learn this truth. No, you have to be taught by somebody. And it says, to whom he shall teach knowledge. Go ahead.
And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Right.
Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast.
Salakia, I was a gobble he would be first. Okay, no sweat. You already, then you go next in order. Most High in Christ. Go ahead. Most High in Christ.
Verse 10.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 10. Precept must be upon precept.
It say precept must be upon precept. Meaning it didn't say, or you could teach precept on precept. It say precept must be upon precept. And sometimes you can find a precept in the same scripture or the same chapter. So like it could be a couple verses above, it could be right in the next verse, or it could be in a whole nother book. You understand? It could be, we keep reading.
Precept upon precept.
They had to reiterate. See, that's how you know this is a black man book. Because we got to make sure, because the white man, he's so timid. He say things one time, and if you don't hear it, oh well. A black man gonna make sure you understand what he's saying. We say precept upon precept, precept upon precept. You understand? Keep going.
Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Line upon line.
Here a little. And there a little.
Meaning it could be here and some from there. It could be in the same chapter, in the beginning of the chapter. It could be at the end of the chapter. You understand what I'm saying? But the point is, this is how you teach, and this is how you learn the Bible. You know what I'm saying? For those who need to learn, you have to be taught by a man. You know what I'm saying? That's ordained, and only you're going to find that only in the I.S.U.P.K and the Commandments of the YAHANNA. You understand what I'm saying? But that's how you're supposed to learn. So with that being said, take me to 2 Peter 3:8. Because when we deal with the creation, the first thing that Christians don't understand is they don't know, like Christians or Pan-Africanists or fakers, I ain't gonna even say fake Israelites, at least they may somewhat know about the creation not being in 7 American days. You understand? But like Pan-Africanists, you get that, like the conscious community, they try to go against what the Bible says because they don't think we believe in science, or they don't believe that science is in the Bible. You understand what I'm saying? The Bible speaks on natural science according to the scriptures. Like a day is not 24 hours. You understand? Like they just don't understand the Bible, so that's why they come up against the Bible. But read what you got right there.
2 Peter 3:8. But beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing.
Hold on, it say, but beloved, what?
Be not ignorant of this one thing.
It say, be not ignorant. So that's what you tell them Pan-African or Christians that come up to you talking about, oh no, the world was built in 7 days. It say, be not what?
Be not ignorant of this one thing.
So you tell them, don't be ignorant, man. You know what I'm saying? You're being ignorant to think that this is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
That one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years.
So now, is this saying that one day is the Lord is specifically exactly 1,000 years? Is that what this verse is saying? La'ah, right? You know what I'm saying? It all it means is it's a certain amount of time, a long span of time. You understand what I'm saying? That took place. It wasn't 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 7 days. It was a span of time, a long span of time. That don't mean it's specifically 1,000 years because the Bible doesn't specify that. You can't teach that. You understand? But we do know it's a long period of time. How do we know that? Because one precept would be, what's that precept you had? Yeah, go ahead. You bring that up.
Somebody give me Genesis 2:17.
Genesis 2:17. Get it real quick. You got to raise your hand. Let me me get the officer back there. Officer Shia, get what you want?
Genesis 2 and 17.
2 and 17.
And somebody else give me Genesis 5 and 5.
No sweat.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 17. But of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
So that scripture is basically telling us Adam and Eve, I hate to use the concept, but just the time to say, take from that tree, they will die within 1 day.
Right. Within that day.
Within that 1 day. Now, somebody read me Genesis 5 and 5.
Who got 5 and 5?
Who got Genesis 5 and 5?
Book of Genesis, chapter 5, verse 5.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
And all the days that Adam lived were 930 years.
How long did he live?
930 years. And he died.
So now according to that scripture, that would mean that if we didn't read that precept that my brother right here, Hobbin, I read, that would say that the Bible's contradicting itself.
Right.
But since we're not Christian, and we actually use precept upon precept to break these scriptures down, we already read that 1 day, according to God, is like 1,000 years.
Right.
So if we read that Adam died within 1 day, according to God, and the scripture says that he lived how long?
930 years.
So according to God, he still died in that 1 day.
Right.
Yeah. You done on that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? He died, and he didn't die specifically at 1,000 years. He died within that long span of time that just, that was likened to the Lord as 1,000 years. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to get that out the way. So now that we understand that the creation didn't take place in 7 American days, it took place over a span of an estimated, somewhere odd 7,000 some years, or in that span, a long span of time. It didn't happen overnight, meaning that questions the whole theory of the Bible doesn't speak about science. Because what do we know about how the earth was formed according to science? Well, the earth was formed according to molecules and this and that, and matter getting together, and all of a sudden it formed, and, over time, it formed this and formed that. Well, that's the same thing that the scriptures is talking about, how it was formed. The only difference is what the scientists or atheists they cut out the actual workers. They cut out Christ and the angels, the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? They're trying to say that all of this happened on its own, when that is not true. Just like anything that you plant or you create, you have to provide the resources necessary for it to grow and do what it needs to do. No different from, having a baby. You need a man and a woman, you know what I'm saying? The man produces the seed, the woman is like the incubator, you know what I'm saying? She has the egg and she holds the baby. So when you plant an apple tree, you gotta have the seeds, you gotta have the soil right, you gotta have water. So the resources are there. The Most High provided the resources for everything to be made, and he sent Christ down and the angels down to do the work. You understand? That's the only thing that science don't bring out as far as the creation. So that was just touching on the creation. So to contrary to popular belief, the creation did not take place in 7 24-hour periods or days. You understand what I'm saying? It happened over a long span of time. All right, so now read, give me Genesis 1 and 23.
Book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 23. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
Okay, hold on, before you go into it. So now, Christians like to say that, Adam and Eve were the first people on earth. You understand what I'm saying? But how is that possible when the word, like Adam, wasn't really spoke of until after the creation? You understand? But during the creation, if we read in chapter 1, verse 23, on the 6th day, it talks about where the Lord made man. Read what you got. 1 and 23. Chapter 1, verse 23.
The book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 23. And the evening and the morning were the 5th day.
So this is the end of the 5th day. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And God said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind,
Right.
cattle and creeping things,
Uh-huh.
and beasts of the earth after his kind.
Right.
And it was so.
Uh-huh.
Verse 25. And God made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind.
Right.
And everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind.
So everything that creepeth upon the earth, the Lord made in this day. Go ahead, keep going.
Come. And God saw that it was good.
Uh-huh.
Verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our
Hold on,
image.
wait a minute, because we still in day 6. You understand? It ain't say the evening and the morning with the 6th day, have it? It ain't say that yet, right? So that means we are still in day 6. So in the 6th day, it says, read that part again.
Come. Verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image.
It say, let us do what?
Make man in our image.
Keep going.
After our likeness.
Uh-huh.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea.
Uh-huh.
And over the fowls of the air.
Keep going.
And over the cattle. And over all the earth.
Right.
And over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
Right. Verse 27. You read that already? Go ahead.
Verse 27. So God created man in his own image.
Uh-huh.
In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created.
He created what?
Male and female.
He created what?
Male and female.
So he created man on the 6th day, male and female. We do understand that, right? This is what the scripture says. We in verse 27 of Genesis chapter 1. Verse 27, this is still the 6th day. It said he made male and female. That's man. He created, that's man and woman, right? This was the 6th day. This is during the creation. So now we know that that's when everybody was put on the earth. That's how we know men and women existed on the earth since the 6th day of the creation. All right. Now let's go into Genesis chapter 2. Because guess what? This is the end of the creation. You understand what I'm saying? This is the end of creation. Let's read it. Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. Let's start at 1.
Book of Genesis chapter 2, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them.
Uh-huh.
Verse 2. And on the 7th day, God ended his work.
He did what?
God ended his work.
He did what?
Ended his work.
All right, give me Genesis chapter 2, drop down to 7. So we understand in Genesis chapter 2, it says he ended his work, correct? We on the same page, right? Everybody know, I know the food is good. Most High in Christ for that. But I want to make sure everybody on the same page here. You understand? So in Genesis chapter 2, he ended his work from the creation, right? You understand? Read verse 7.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
So hold on. So this is where they try to say, this is where they made man right here. This is what Christians try to use to say, this is when man was created. But we just read in the 6th day, Genesis chapter 1, verse 23, it said that he was made male and female, right? We understand. He made man in the likeness of his own image and made he male and female. So he made mankind in on the 6th day. Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. You understand? But in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, read what you got again.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
Right.
And breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
So now, okay, are we down on YouTube? We should be to wall. I don't know if is that your computer or? Okay, no sweat. Long as we still up, we to wall. All right. So now, okay, so how is it so? So read verse 7 again, my bad. I'm trying to stay on the same page. Read verse 7 again.
And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils.
Okay, let's start right there. So, and the Lord God made man from the dust of the ground. Okay, so this is what Christians like to say, this is where man was created. How so? Anybody in the room, can anybody tell me how was man created on the 6th day, and then after he finished all his work, also created man on after the 7th day in Genesis chapter 2? Is it possible? He made man twice?
Right.
Okay, so now when he say he formed man from the dust of the ground, what is that talking about? Can I get somebody to, anybody that think they want to answer it? Go ahead.
Salakia, sir, a low state.
Right, exactly. He took man from a low state. This was Adam. Adam was in a low state. Give me an example of Adam being in a low state. What does it mean when they say that? Go ahead.
Not knowing the commandments of the God in the Bible.
He wasn't following the law, statutes, commandments. You understand? Just like us, when we're in the world, we're in a low state. You understand? We are like dead to the Lord. You understand? So when we start following the law, statutes, commandments, guess what? Now we are alive. You understand? Now we can live. So that's all he did. He took Adam from a low state, meaning he wasn't following the laws. And then he brought him up from the dust of the ground. He formed him. You understand? By giving him the laws. You understand? By giving him the laws, statutes, and commandments, he took him from the dust of the ground. All right, now, go ahead.
I got a precept.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
Right.
So that's showing you that, that's one precept that's showing you that these laws keep you alive. They don't just tell you not to eat pig and crawfish and all these other animals that will have toxins in their body, just to tell you.
Right.
These type things keep you alive.
There's another precept too. Give me the precept on the dry bone. Anybody got the dry bone precept?
I got that Ezekiel 37:4.
Yeah, read it.
Ezekiel 37:4. Again, he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord.
Keep going.
Verse 5. Thus saith the Lord God unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live.
Right. You understand? So that's another precept. Like when he says these dry bones, you are dead to the Lord. You understand? You prophesy to these dry bones, you bring them up. You know what I'm saying? You learn this truth, keep the law, statutes, commandments, and you can do what? Was at the end of the description?
I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live.
So this is exactly what happened right here with Adam. Go back to Genesis chapter 2, verse 7.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
You understand, right? It's like them dry bones. You know what I'm saying? That he's going to breathe life into them. You understand? We on the same page? Everybody? All right, go ahead. Keep going.
And breathe into his nostrils the breath of life.
And do what?
Breathe into his nostrils the breath of life.
And it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? This is a perfect precept. You understand? And keep going though.
And man became a living soul.
Just like those dry bones in Ezekiel. You understand? It's the same thing that's taking place. That's how we know. That's why the Bible says you must read precept upon precept. That's how we know that this wasn't like a physical thing. This was a metaphor. And it was like something, it wasn't man being made, because first of all, the Lord didn't make man twice. He didn't make him on the 6th day, then turn around and make him, after he completed all his work, make man again. You know how much work it was to make man? He was already resting from his work. You know what I'm saying? He completed that after day 6. He rested the 7th day. It was a lot of work he did. You know what I mean? So that's why we know. That's why we must read precept upon precept. You look like you're a little confused. You there? You got it? You sure? All right, no sweat. Give me Genesis 4:1. Give me
Genesis 4:1. And Adam knew Eve, his wife.
Hold on, wait a minute. He what?
Knew Eve, his wife.
What that mean when they say that? Go ahead.
He went into Eve.
They had sex. You understand what I'm saying? That's what happened. That's how he knew. That's how he knew Eve. You know what I'm saying? And we know this because right after it say he knew Eve, it says his what?
His wife.
You understand? Sometimes the precept is right in the same verse. You understand? Precept upon precept. You know, the Bible, you gotta understand context. You know, you ain't like for you weed smokers out there getting high trying to over philosophize the Bible, you know what I'm saying, making it out to be something that you going all all on the deep end trying to break down the Bible, you need to just get in class.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It says he knew Eve, his wife, meaning him and Eve, they got it on. Go ahead.
And she conceived.
And she what?
Conceived.
That's another reason how we know they got it on, because how else can you conceive but by a man and a woman getting it on? You understand what I'm saying? Keep going.
And bare Cain.
And who?
And bare Cain.
So this is Cain. This is when Cain came about. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And said, I have gotten a man from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2. And she again bare his brother Abel.
So she got pregnant again, and she had Abel. So now the Bible at this state, it don't speak about any other children, correct? Can anybody else pull a precept about from this point and before saying that they had any other children? Right? So the Bible up until this point, it don't speak about them having any other children. Okay, why am I asking that? Go ahead.
Because they say that Adam and Eve were the first people on the face of the earth.
Right, they try to say Adam and Eve were the first people on earth, but then go ahead.
That Cain might have slept with his sister.
Right, that's exactly what I'm getting to. You understand what I'm saying? Because guess what? We're gonna go into it. We're gonna go into that, but I just want to keep that on y'all mind right now, because when I go into what I'm gonna go to, it's gonna start making sense. Give me drop down to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Uh-huh.
And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear.
Okay, so now just to give y'all a little backstory on what happened at this point, Abel provided a sacrifice to the Most High that was accepted. The Lord accepted Abel's sacrifice. Cain also provided a sacrifice to the Lord that was not accepted. So out of jealousy, Cain killed Abel. You understand? Out of pure jealousy and unbrotherhood, non-brotherhood being displayed, he killed his brother because he was jealous that the Most High accepted his gift or his sacrifice, and the Most High didn't accept his. You know what I'm saying? Salakia, the Most High accepted his brother's sacrifice and didn't accept his. You understand what I'm saying? So to give you a little backstory on that, read what you got.
Verse 14. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
Who is that talking? Let me get somebody else to answer. Go ahead. That's Cain talking. Who is he talking to? Almost got you though. Give her a hand though. She said Cain, Most High in Christ. That was right. Anybody know who Cain was talking to? Read it again.
Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth.
Who is he talking to? Who is the only person that has the power to do this? Go ahead. The Most High, give her a hand. That's exactly this is who Cain was talking to. Cain was talking to the Most High. Read it all the way through.
And from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. It shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me.
You understand? Why is it saying that? Go ahead. Right, but how would everybody? Why would people find him? Like, okay. Go ahead. Like, what was the punishment though? Right, exactly. Give her a hand. Most High in Christ. Most High in Christ. You know what I'm saying? The Most High punished him and gave him that white skin that who on earth got that same white skin that had that same spirit that Cain had. Raise your hand. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm right. The white man on the earth, which is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? Cain was the first. He by default, or shall I say, I want to say by default. What's the word I'm looking for? The Most High gave him that skin. He was the first white person. After that, he was the first white person on earth. You understand what I'm saying? When we say white, we just talk about skin color, but it's the spirit, that comes with him that we understand. That's how we know Esau. We're gonna go into that too. But so the Most High marked his skin, right? So now he talking to the Most High like, everybody gonna find me because you mark my skin. I look different from everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody on the earth at that time was what color? Go ahead. Go ahead, Shaquat. Black. They were like a black people. You know what I'm saying? Like dark people or brown skin. They wasn't white. You know what I'm saying? Because if they were white, then he would have been able to blend in, right? Wherever he went, he would have been able to find somewhere to blend in. He wouldn't have been scared. Because he's like, well, I could just blend in, nobody noticed. But by him having that white skin, he knew he couldn't blend in nowhere because everybody else had a different skin pigmentation. You understand? So we need that's just a little backstory on that. So now we understand that Cain was cursed with that white skin because he killed his brother. That same spirit, that evil spirit that Cain got, later on we're gonna find out who else got that spirit. You understand what I'm saying? Now give me a read, keep reading. That was 15.
That was chapter. That's 15. That's verse 15. 14.
Keep going.
Verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
Right. So he says, whoever shall slay Cain, vengeance will be taken upon you sevenfold. You know what I'm saying? So he basically reassured Cain that nobody's gonna mess with him. Right. But because of what he did, he had to be marked. You understand? Go ahead. Keep reading.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain,
right,
lest any finding him should kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 16.
So that's why he gave him that skin to make him look different from everybody, because everybody knew what he did. Everybody knew he committed that evil and wicked act against his brother. So of course, you know what I'm saying, people like wasn't with that. You understand what I'm saying? But the Most High gave him that skin, you know what I'm saying, to distinct him from everybody else. For one, and for two, letting everybody know, okay, now if they mess with this man, they're gonna get vengeance upon him sevenfold. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 16. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod.
Okay, now here we get. Now we start to get to the good part. You understand? So, okay, it says, and he went out from the presence of the Most High, right? And he went well.
Dwelt in the land of Nod.
It says he dwelt in the land of Nod. You understand? So let me ask you this: if Adam and Eve were the first people on the earth, how was it possible that they could go to a whole land that was already established and have a name? Can anybody answer that? Let me ask y'all this. Okay, pick somebody. Okay, sis, where you from? Like, Samantha, where you from? You like, give me a hood. I know you a neighborhood or you from Fifth Ward, right? So when you were born, Fifth Ward already existed, correct? Yeah, you understand? So that means, what does that mean? Were you the first person in Fifth Ward? How do you know you weren't the first person? Besides, like if you woke up and you ain't see nobody else, but you knew, or you seen one other person, right? And this person say, y'all both born around the same time, y'all grew up, y'all know this is Fifth Ward. How would you know on a practical note, how would you know that this is Fifth Ward? Like how would you know you're not the only two people that ever existed there? Right, well, because you didn't name it. You know what I'm saying? When you were born, Fifth Ward, the name Fifth Ward was already there. That means somebody before you came and gave it that name. It makes sense, right? Just like the city, Houston. Somebody named Houston, right? It had to be somebody that came before you. It's no different from the land of Nod. You understand? Like why would the Bible even speak on this land if it had no importance? It was, the Bible is so perfect. Let me just say that the Bible is so perfect because it's like it was designed to cut Christians. if I may, you know what I'm saying? It was like designed to perfectly cut anybody trying to come up against it, because it specifically references this city for a reason, so people would know that Adam and Eve weren't the first people on earth. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know. It's just amazing how the Bible is just so perfect. I don't see how can you go against it. You know what I mean? But so this land had already been established, and we know this because it had a name. So whoever Nod is or whoever gave it that name already established this name, and this was already an established land where people dwelt. Because how do we know people dwelt there? Keep reading.
On the east of Eden.
This was on the east side of Eden. Keep going.
Verse 17. And Cain knew his wife.
Hold on, wait a minute. So just like Adam knew his wife Eve, Cain knew his wife from the land of Nod. Meaning they what? Go ahead. They had sex. You understand what I'm saying? But what would he find this mysterious wife if Adam and Eve were the only people on the earth? And they only had Cain and Abel. So you got Adam and Eve, they had Cain and Abel. So supposedly those are the only 4 people on the earth, according to Christians, right? So how did he know his wife? Where'd she come from? She just came out of thin air? Was it a blow-up doll? Salaki. You know what I'm saying? How did this, like, these are the questions you gotta ask these Christians. Where did she come from? Like, I mean, like, you know what I mean? Was it an imaginary wife or what? You know, this was a real woman. Because it said he knew his wife, meaning he had sex with this woman and she became his wife. So this is how you cut Christians. This is how you know that Adam and Eve weren't the only people on the earth. You understand what I'm saying? We're on the same page? Is there anything online? Any questions? Or anything? No sweat. Keep reading.
And she conceived and bare Enoch.
And bare Enoch. You understand? Go ahead.
And he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch.
Hold on. So this further proves what I'm saying to be correct, because the land of Nod was there, right? Meaning somebody had to establish that city and give it a name. So just like somebody established that city and give it a name, what did Cain do when he had his son Enoch? Read verse 17 again.
And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived.
Keep going.
And bare Enoch.
Keep going.
And he builded a city.
He did what?
Builded a city.
He did what?
Builded a city.
So whoever built the land of Nod did the same thing. That's how it was done. It was established. Keep reading.
And called the name of the city after the name of his son.
So those are the traditions that happened. That's what it was back then. You build a city, you name it after somebody, either yourself or your child or whatever. That was the tradition. So that's how we know through precept, that's how the land of Nod got there. Because people were there. He found the wife. Go ahead.
I want to know where Christians get the little logic that Cain took his sister.
Well, because they have that lets you know Christians they come up with stuff. You know, when you don't know the truth, you start creating things out of thin air. You know what I'm saying? You just start making up stuff, right? Just like it's no different from you know, that little game that they used to play when you was in school, where the teacher make you line up in a row and you have the teacher tell the first person, clearly tell the person, like loud and clear, something, and that first person heard correctly, right? So they whisper to the next person. But by the time we get down to the end of the line, you can tell the first person Christ was a black man. By the time we get down to the end of the line, now Christ was a white man with blue eyes and blonde hair. You understand what I'm saying? That's where they came up with the logic of, like, it's really, I mean, it's so ignorant. You know what I mean? But you know, when we was in the world, we didn't think it was too far-fetched. Guess what? Because we were smoking that weed. We're like, you know what? Yeah, man, he had sex with his sister. That's what happened. And you just make it a reality. Go ahead.
The simple fact that Christians do not read the Bible.
Right.
They pretty much go off of what that preacher tells them. So whatever that preacher tells them, that's what I'm rolling with, because he knows the book. And the only reason the preacher knows the book is because that white man told him way back in the day, this is what it is, this is what you teach.
And another thing, if I could, the picture that Salaki said, if I could, this is how you know the white man taught that. Because you know the white man believe in incest. That's what they love to have sex with their sister and their daughters in trailer parks, and you know what I mean? I mean, it just only makes sense. That had to be a white man concept, because we don't do those type of things. You know what I'm saying? That's a connotation that goes with white people, right? Like the first thing you see of white people in the trailer park, you automatically know, either the wife having sex with the dog, and you know what I'm saying, the white man having sex with his dog, or they having sex with the sisters, and you know what I mean? So that comes with the white man's teaching. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like if I may coming to the truth, showed and proved to me that the white man don't know a goddamn thing about this Bible.
Right.
The tree of life, Adam and Eve being the first people.
Right.
You know, all these things in Christianity.
The apple.
It is not the apple. It
right.
is not biblically accurate.
Right.
All, you understand? So I think the Most High for having Journey Hunter hold down his truth, keep his truth going. You understand? Because in the garden, there were millions of people inside the garden. You understand? And the white man get so caught up on Adam and Eve because he doesn't understand the Bible. It's a black man's book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So of course they don't understand. They got the spirit to understand it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just some push. So like if I could, man, about this homosexual white man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, like you brought out earlier, you feel me, like the white Cain had sex with his sister.
Right.
Like how do we know that Cain didn't have sex with his sister?
Right.
Because we know incest is unlawful.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And we knew that there were laws, statutes, and commandments in the garden because they knew what not to eat of.
Right, right.
But they had laws.
Exactly.
So we know it couldn't have been a sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That what Christians do, they say, well, they had more kids, but that came later.
Right.
Seth, they didn't even name the daughters, but Seth, they did have other sons and daughters.
Exactly.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But the white man's such a homosexual and such a pedophile in a sexual deviant. You know what I'm saying? He had you thinking Adam and Eve was walking around here just naked. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna say that, just naked, and that's not what it is. Like Officer Gabor said, it's a black man's book. Ain't no white man gonna understand that.
Right.
In a piggyback off that, you can't go learn this from the white man. Stop running to the white man to try to learn. Stop going to what's that church, Joel Osteen Church called again?
Right.
Lakewood. Stop going to Lakewood. Stop trying to go to these places. Stop going to the Stop going to First Presbyterian. Stop going to South Park Baptist. Stop going to whatever Seventh-day Adventist. I don't care if it's a black pastor. Don't go to Lakewood either with the white pastor because the black pastor learned from the white pastor. You know what I'm saying? Or the white biblical school to become a scholar, so-called scholar. So we already know that they're following the white man's ideology. So why follow that? Follow real priests and prophets of the Lord ordained to teach this Bible under Commander General YAHANNA and I.S.U.P.K. That's where you learn. This is where you come and learn. Get in class. Don't go to GOCC where they got homosexuals coming out on Facebook, coming out the closet. Don't go to IUIC where you got homosexuals killing other homosexuals because they don't want nobody to find out that they're homosexual, and they are in bed with the policeman, the same policeman that's shooting you down in the middle of the street. You understand? Don't go to none of these fake Israelite groups, man. You know, especially when their leader was in class in I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So why go get Henny and orange juice and water it down when you could just get it straight? You know what I'm saying? Strong drink. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you had something you want to add on that?
Yeah, one more thing. One thing about learning from these white pastors of Christianity, because Christianity is based on the white man's conception of this book.
Right.
And the Bible was written by black people. So we talk differently than white people. They don't understand how we talk. So we say, what's your name, sis? Samantha. So if a brother came to another brother and say, hey, you seen Samantha? She bad, bro. Be careful. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have you drinking the bath water. We already know that we know, like, hey, Samantha, she look good. She looks so good, she gonna have you do anything she want. But a white man hear that and say, hey, Samantha, she's a bad person. She have you drinking bath water. Oh no. And he goes and tells somebody else the same thing. Samantha's a bad person. Samantha's a bad person. She gonna have you drinking bad water. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. They don't understand how we talk. They take everything literal. And we use metaphors and parables just like how we do in rap music.
Right.
It's the same concept. Go ahead, sir.
If I could, so are you saying like white people don't understand the words we use and how they have different meanings?
Right.
Yes, sir.
So is that why in John 3:16 when he said he loved the world, they thought he meant the literal world? Right. The world has multiple meanings.
Con after one con, sir.
Right. You understand? I mean, they're not gonna understand our lingo. They didn't understand it then. They're not gonna understand it now. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you Salaki. Just like, you know, when we say stuff like you know, okay, so when you in the world and you tell you know, your brother, your cousin say he on the way, you be like, where you at? Oh, I'm around the corner. What does around the corner mean? Go ahead, sir. 25 minutes. Right, you mean 30 minutes, it might be an hour, you know, anywhere from 25 minutes to an hour away. But if you tell a white man I'm right around the corner, they're gonna go outside looking for you like, Bob, I thought you said you was around the corner, Bob. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how they are very literal. We don't speak the same type of lingo. You understand? So that's how this Bible was written. These parables and metaphoric instances, the white man don't understand that, but we understand it because this is how we speak. This is how we talk to each other. It's no different from when we create languages like Pig Latin or something like that to try to, you know what I'm saying? This is not a new thing under the sun. I think Officer Gabawal. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
If I may, the other thing we need to know about the white man is that he is from the caves of the Caucasus Mountains. And his history is only rape, robbing, and murdering. Mm-hmm. And so you can't, and all he's ever done was stolen the identity of the nations of people that he conquered. Right. So he really has no culture. You understand what I'm saying? So for him stealing our book and then trying to teach it to us, like the white man says he's an Egyptian now too. Right. So you understand what I'm saying? They even had white people try to decipher the metadata that crap they got on the wall. You understand what I'm saying? So you cannot trust somebody that has no culture. Right. Exactly. That steals everything. Everything that they learned, they stole it from us, and then trying to turn around and teach you. But they want to teach you the messed up version. You know what I'm saying? When you should just learn how you like the original version. You understand? I'm not sure how long that's going to last. It might be down to the nitty gritty. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. So with that being said, you know, we all got an understanding on on the creation and that Adam and Eve were the first people on the earth. Anybody got any questions on that? Yeah, okay, we're on the same page. All right, so now I want to go into Jacob and Esau. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of people don't understand, you know, who Jacob and Esau was. They try to say, you know, you got the fake Israelites, especially the ones that love white people. They try to say, okay, well, Jacob and Esau, they're brothers. So why are you saying you hate the white man when your brothers with the white man? Right. But we're going to get down to the nitty gritty and to the bottom of the matter, you know what I'm saying, and understand what the Lord did with Jacob and Esau. You know what I'm saying? So let's go to Genesis 25 and 21.
Genesis 25 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Mm-hmm. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her.
All right, so now we Isaac and Rebekah. Isaac, which is the son of who? Who is Isaac the son of? Somebody that's not an officer. Nobody? Ain't no troop. What the troop at? Who is Isaac the son of? All right, exactly. Damn right. Took you a little too long, you know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ though. No sweat. No sweat. So Isaac is the son of Abraham, you understand? His wife named Rebekah. With Rebekah, he had Jacob and Esau, you understand? So let's go.
And the children struggled together within her.
So she got pregnant with twins, right? So now with these twins, they already fighting in the inside. They struggling together. What does struggling together mean? When they say they struggle together within. Go ahead.
They were flexing.
They were in the womb already starting it out. You know what I'm saying? Beefing. You know what I'm saying? Already in her stomach, they beefing. Go ahead.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
So she's asking, like, if this is meant for me to have kids, if it's meant for me to conceive these babies, what's going on in there? Why is all this stuff going on in my stomach? Why they fighting each other? You see feet and hands flying and seeing it. You can see it probably through her stomach. Sometimes you know how babies be kicking and stuff. You can see the feet coming up out the stomach. All you see is two different hands is just going back and forth. You know what I'm saying? They going at it, MMA style. In the baby, right? You know what I'm saying? In the water bags. They not playing. They going hard. You understand? Go ahead.
And she went to inquire of the Lord.
So she went to inquire of the Most High, right? So she's asking the Most High, like, if this is meant for me to have this, why is this going on? All this turmoil going on in my stomach. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
So the Most High telling her, okay, this is why they fighting in your stomach. 2 different nations are in your womb. You got 2 different types of people. You understand what I'm saying? 2 different nations. Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people.
So it's distinctive. So it's a 2 nations and 2 manner of people, meaning you got 2 different nations. Give me an example of 2 different nations. SKYPE. Moab. Ishmael. Okay, so Moab and Ishmael, those are 2 different, give a hand. Right, Most High in Christ. Those are 2 different nations. Okay, now, when it says 2 manner of people, what does that mean? Go ahead, sis. Yeah, I'm right, give her a hand. 2 different type of people. We are not cut from the same cloth. You understand? Most High in Christ. Damn right. Give two manner of people, meaning we are 2 different nations for one, and we cut from a different cloth.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And 2 manner of people shall be separate from her. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And it says 2 manner of people shall be separated by thy bowels, meaning in the womb, in your stomach, I'm going to separate these 2 people, meaning they're not brother and sister. I mean, brother and brother, Salaki. They're not brothers. They're separated. In your womb, I'm going to separate them, make them 2 different types. Yeah, they born together. Yeah, they're twins, but they're not brothers. They're brothers on the aspect of born from the same mother, but they are 2 different people. They're not neighbors. You know what I'm saying? They're not brothers. You understand? Go ahead. You had a question? Oh, go ahead.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And hold on, say that again.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Okay, so now it say the one people shall be stronger than the other people. What is that talking about? Young man, you want to give it a try? You want to give it a try? All right. Officer Shai, you want to give it a try? I mean, I ain't gonna just say physical strength, because, okay, give me an example of a strong people and a weak people dealing with these 2 nations right here. Who are these? Okay, let me ask this question. Who is Jacob the progenitor of? Anybody can answer that. Go ahead. Who is Jacob the progenitor of? Go ahead.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native
The
Americans.
12 tribes of Israel. Who is Esau the progenitor of? Y'all already know it. It's the devil that the Bible speaks of. Go ahead, sir. Most High in Christ, give them a hand. They are dogs. You understand what I'm saying? The white man. You know what I'm saying? That is who Esau the progenitor of. So now give me an example of one people being stronger than the other. Who is stronger out of the 2 from today? Not going back looking at this time, but right now today, who is the stronger people? I know you know, sir. Let me try to get the sister to answer. You want to give it a try, Lexi? White people the stronger people? No. Just because they run the earth don't mean they the strongest.
Right.
The black people, right? The 12 tribes of Israel are the strongest people on earth. Now give me some examples of how we're stronger than them. Is it just physical? Give me an example. Nah, that's not what I'm looking for. No sweat though. Go ahead. I'm so sure.
How we're able to live check to check and not commit suicide and kill our family.
That's exactly a way. You know what I'm saying? Like they're mentally, emotionally, we are able to endure more than them. The sun hates them. We can stand out in the sun a lot longer than them too. You understand what I'm saying? They gotta, if they want to be able to outlast us, we don't have to have sunscreen. We don't need sunscreen. You understand what I'm saying? We go out there, we can stand out there all day long, but if they try to hang with us, guess what? They're gonna need sunscreen. They're gonna need sunscreen and all types of covering and shade and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another reason how we know the Lord hates them. You know what I'm saying? The sun definitely hates them. Most High in Christ for that. But those are ways that we're stronger than them. We're stronger than them physically. We're stronger than them mentally. Because guess what? When Bob loses his job, he jumping off. You're gonna see him on the ground at St. Joseph and Milam on the ground, splattered, jumping off the parking garage. I'm a witness. I seen it happen before downtown. You know what I'm saying? All you hear was a big boom, and that's it. You know what I mean? But guess what? John from the hood ain't gonna kill himself when he loses his job. He gonna be like, I hate to say this, Salakia. He gonna be like, man, what's you? I just gotta get it how I live. He gonna do whatever he can. You know what I'm saying? By any means necessary. But he ain't gonna kill himself though. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way we're stronger. We are built to survive and endure and adapt. You understand what I'm saying? They can't do that. So that's when the Bible says one people gonna be stronger than the other. Who's gonna be stronger than who, according to Jacob and Esau? If I already told you who the progenitor was and who people are the stronger now, who is stronger then? Go ahead. No, Jacob. Jacob is the stronger out of the two. When it says one nation, one will be stronger than the other. Go ahead.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
You understand, right? Who is the elder? Go ahead, sir.
If I could, what the brother's bringing out is so heavy. If you don't know what's going on, like right now in South Africa, you understand, the Hamites are making the Edomites give up the land that they stole.
Right.
This white woman in an interview is like, oh my God, like it's like walking down the street and all they see is the color of your skin and not the contents of your soul. It's so weak.
Right.
Compared to niggas been dealing with this for 500 years.
Right. Exactly. Still, what Deontay Wilder say? To this day. To this day. You understand what I'm saying? Like we still going through it. Like it ain't changed. Period. You understand? So that just, like you said, that definitely piggybacks and it's exactly correct. You understand what I'm saying? So now, who's the elder? It said the elder shall serve the younger. Go ahead. Yeah, but who came out first? Go ahead, sis. Go ahead. You go ahead, give it another shot. Esau came out first. So that lets you know, go ahead, Most High Christ. That is a precept for future prophecy of who is supposed to serve who on this earth. You understand? Right now we at the bottom. Right now we at the bottom. But guess what? Who's gonna serve us? Esau, the white man. You understand what I'm saying? This is the prophecy for that. And Most High Christ for that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, that's how we understand, you know, who Jacob and Esau was. And you got to also understand that why, okay, let me ask y'all, let's go into, keep reading. Where we at?
Verse 24.
Keep going.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled.
Because before that, this is actually leading up to her giving birth. Because right now, this is just, because remember, she went to the Most High, like, what's going on? Because this all happened while they fighting already. Like, you know what I'm saying? So before she conceived, so the Lord was already letting her know what's going to happen or what's going on before she had her kids. So now it's coming time for her to give birth. Go ahead.
Behold, there were twins in her womb.
Right. So now, this is the time when she about to conceive. Go ahead.
25. And the first came out red.
Hold on. So now we finding out who the elder, which you already answered the question, and you was correct. But now we finna find out what the Bible say who came out first. This is how we know. Go ahead.
And the first came out red.
All
over like a hairy garment.
All right. So now here's a good question right here. I'm gonna ask y'all, and I would like for either a trooper, I'm gonna say Officer 50 on down to answer it. And from that goes all the way down to the sisters. Why would the Bible make a distinction of the color of this firstborn that came out? I know you know your pie, so I'm not gonna go to you. I'm gonna go ahead and let me go with the troops. I'm the Officer 50 right here. Let's see what he got to say. Everybody else meaning who? Everybody else was the same color as the person that came out? Oh. Okay, so a different color from what they said this first one came out, right? Because they said the first one came out red all over. So that lets you know the reason why the Bible didn't. Keep reading right quick.
And they called his name Esau. Verse 26. And after that came his brother out. And
right. Keep going.
and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
Okay, so now the first one came out. They said this one is red and all hairy all over, right? The second one came out. They didn't describe the second one. Why is that? Like he said, the first one is a different color than everybody else on the earth at this time. It looked different, you know what I'm saying? Like he came out red, like so it had to be put in the Bible, just no different from the land of Nod. You understand what I'm saying? This land was established, so the Bible, that's why I say the Bible is perfect. It don't leave no doubt. So this baby was described as red and hairy. The other baby wasn't described at all because it looked like something that they've already seen. A million babies that popped out the same color. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing different. But this first one was different. They're like, what? Man, this thing is red and hairy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you see us today, I mean, you got some, granted, like, as a whole, you got some, like, you know, hairy black men or whatever, but not like the white man. You know, most of our brothers ain't, you know, it ain't a white man, he look like a damn gorilla bat. You know what I'm saying? Like a damn, well, we call them Neanderthals. You know what I'm saying? You know, but they look like a damn animal. They look like dogs. They so hairy, you know what I'm saying? And that's what this means. It don't mean like a little bit hair on your chest, you know, like a brother, or a little, you know, a beard or something. They're talking about this man was hairy all over. He was hairy all the way down his neck, on his, like, all the way down to his fingernails. You know what I'm saying? That's how hairy he was. That's why I describe him like the hairy all over. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how we know that Esau was different from everybody else. You understand what I'm saying? Is there some more on that? Go ahead.
And his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. That's it.
Right. So that's how we know that's describing Esau and Jacob is making the Lord made a distinct difference between the two. He told Rebekah that it's going to be two different nations in your womb. You know what I'm saying? Two manner of people. So he separated that brotherhood from that point on. Ain't no such thing. Ain't no brothers. You know, like on a technical aspect, yes, because they were born by the same thing. You know, this mother had both these kids, but after they came out, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Jacob and Esau got the same mother and father, but guess what? The Lord separated them, so they're not entitled to the things that we are entitled to. That's why they don't have the promises or the covenants. You know what I'm saying? That was only given to Israel. And guess who was Israel? Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. You understand what I'm saying? So after his name was changed, and then he started, you know, he married, he had 4 wives. I have to say that again. He had 4 wives. You understand? Let me just say it one more time. He had 4 wives, and he made the 12 tribes of Israel with those 4 wives. You understand what I'm saying? I just can't I can't say that enough. You know what I'm saying? Most High Christ for the ability to have 4 wives. You understand what I'm saying? Most High Christ for that. But and beyond, right? You know what I'm saying? There's really no limit. You know what I mean? As many as you can, you know, be fruitful with. Most High Christ. Just do it and seek counsel too. You know what I'm saying? Before you just go taking wives, you know, seek counsel. It's not all what you think. You know, it's not just it's a duty. You know what I'm saying? It's a duty. Most High Christ though, for the brothers that can handle it. But yeah. So now. This is how we know Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, which is who we know today as the white man, the Caucasians. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you know anything about that, why they have that name Caucasians, you would know that it's related to the Caucasus Mountains. You understand what I'm saying? And if you know what Edom is, where's the Caucasus? You know what I'm saying? Like everything adds up. You know what I mean? But let's go into Genesis 25 and 30.
Genesis 25 and 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
So now Esau saying to Jacob, Esau was hungry as hell. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the white man do. They don't even care. Like they don't even think rational. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading. We're gonna see what Esau did just because he was hungry.
For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
That's how you know they were the weaker person. Because he's so hungry, he feel like he finna faint. This man ready to sell his whole soul. And he did. You know what I'm saying? He sold his whole birthright because he was hungry. Go ahead.
31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright.
Now you know Israel.
Right.
You know, so we're gonna capitalize. You hungry? Oh, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me see. All right, bet. Sell me this, and I give you something to eat. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna capitalize on, you know, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Most I ain't crazy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what it is. Go ahead.
Verse 32, and Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die.
And you know, I want to use this analogy. I don't want to use nothing unlawful, but it's like, okay, say for instance, I'm just gonna use this terminology, which ain't really a good one, but I'm gonna say, okay, you got a crackhead, right? Crackhead got a TV. Now, he was gonna sell it to, you know, the brother across the street for like $20. But guess what? You got old Billy Bob walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Billy Bob looking for a TV. Guess what? How much you think he gonna sell the TV to Billy Bob versus old John that stay right next door, his brother? You know what I'm saying? The white man, he gonna hit the white man over the head for about $300. You know what I'm saying? Man, this TV in good condition, man. I mean, you want a TV, right? It's better than going to the store. This same TV, you gonna pay $600 for. Right now, you can get it half off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna capitalize, right? You know, that's how it is. It's no different from what Jacob did in this instance. Oh, you hungry? I got you. How hungry art thou? You know what I'm saying? Are you this hungry? And he was this hungry. Go ahead.
And what profit shall his birthright do to me?
He said, what profit shall this birthright do to me? Like, I ain't worried about, like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about nothing. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 33, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him and sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Right. So he sold his birthright. Go ahead.
Yeah, this also shows how much of a natural-minded, carnal-minded beast that the so-called white man is. That he was willing to give up, and he gave up a spiritual, a rulership. But Esau understood what that birthright was wholeheartedly. Right. That birthright was of rulership. Right. But he was so willing to give that up just for some uncooked meat, man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So that shows the white man today bears that same spirit, man. You understand what I'm saying? That regardless of the future, like the white man, he pollutes the air that his very children have to breathe. Right. You understand what I'm saying? He pollutes the water that his children have to drink. And the scientists come to him and tell him, hey, if we keep doing this, 2 or 3 generations down the road, you understand what I'm saying? The water won't be able or suitable, or the air won't be suitable for them to breathe and drink. Right. But I need it now. Right. I need to get this oil out of the ground now. You understand what I'm saying? So even the global warming aspect. Right. Yeah, just to piggyback, you know, this is the same thing I was looking at Crossing Line Radio. You know, if y'all don't tune in, make sure y'all tune in to that every Thursday night. You know what I'm saying? I was watching, you know, Captain Zaryak saying the same thing, where they don't care about. That's the reason why you're getting all these earthquakes and all these different things, because they're draining the earth dry, these resources. It could have been, I'm not sure if it was Captain Zaryak or Captain Kappa. Both of them say some amazing things, very educational things according to the scriptures. But, you know, you're draining the resources from the earth. That means things are not like the oil, there's natural oil that's needed for the tectonic plates to move in such a way that they need to move. Well, when you drain it of that, that's when you get them to hit, you know, they grinding and doing these things, which causes the earthquakes. You understand what I'm saying? But that's why that you have these type of things. You know what I'm saying? So, but the white, like you said, the white man don't care. They just want what they want. It's mine, I want it now. You know what I'm saying? J.G. Wentworth. You know what I'm saying? It's mine and I need it now. You know, so that's a heavy point what he said. So now Esau was named. Keep reading on what you got there.
Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. That's it on that chapter.
Does that have anything where it say, okay, no sweat. So go to chapter 32, verse 27. So that's what Esau was named Edom, and he lost his birthright, you understand, for some food. You understand? So now we're going to go into Jacob being the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. 32 and 27.
Chapter 32, verse 27. Therefore didst thou flee away secretly, and steal away from me, and didst not tell me that I might have sent thee away with murder.
Where you at?
Verse 27.
What chapter?
32.
32 and 27?
32 and 27.
Keep going.
And with songs, with tabret, and with harp.
Let me see if that's the right one I'm trying to get.
Genesis?
Yeah, Genesis chapter 32.
30.
I thought so. I swear. Yeah, get 32 and 27.
32 and 27.
Uh-huh.
And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob.
Okay, so go up to one verse.
Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh.
All right, so now I just want to get some context. Okay, so now just the speech I let my time say, because we're going to probably end it here. I got a couple more precepts and we're going to end it. To catch y'all up, this is right after Jacob had the fight with the angel. He was wrestling with the angel. And Jacob wrestled with his angel like all night. You understand what I'm saying? That's how strong Jacob was physically to be able to wrestle with an angel. You understand? Because guess what? Jacob wanted this angel to hear him out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to take no one answer. So he wrestled with this angel. The angel touched his hip and knocked his hip out of place. And Jacob still wrestled with that angel. So this angel like got to the point where like, man, you know what? Dang, this dude is not gonna stop. All right, man, look. You know what I'm saying? What you want, man? You know what I'm saying? So this is where we at right now. Just trying to get y'all caught up. Go ahead.
And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me.
So the angel asked him, man, what's your name? You know what I'm saying? Like he wrestling with this man all night. So he's like, you know what? I'm just tired of wrestling. What's your name, man? And he said, Jacob. And he said, I would not let you go unless you bless me. Because he wanted that blessing from that angel. Go ahead.
Verse 27. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob.
Right.
But Israel.
But what?
But Israel.
So this is when Jacob got his name changed. So this is when Jacob got into the truth. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you come into the truth, you ain't no more David or Johnny or Arthur or Tyrone, Jerome. You ain't them people no more. Guess what? You get your name. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Did Jacob name himself? Lie. You understand? You got these fake Israelites out here naming, hey, I'm Yasharallah Baba Kashar. You know what I'm saying? I'm Yasharallah Adawan. Like they giving themselves names. You know what I'm saying? It sounds so ridiculous. You need to let a ordained priest and prophet of the Lord name you. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? Just like that angel named Jacob, he named him Israel. You understand what I'm saying? Keep going. And Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, and it means prince of the power. You understand? You have to, go ahead.
Come on, sir. I was texting a brother, right? And the brother telling me, man, I want a Hebrew name real bad.
Right.
I said, brother, come into school to your time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he said, thank you. I text him back, YAHANNA bar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The next thing you know, this man writes on Facebook, my name is no longer such and such. You may now call me YAHANNA bar. Good night, brother. I means you're welcome, man. Right. No, but it sounds so warrior-like. That's Christianity right there.
Oh, man. So, I mean, you know, that's exactly why, you know, I mean, good night. He said, like, you could have, he just was looking for any Hebrew word. You know what I'm saying? You could have put Kobah, and he would have been like, my name is no longer Johnny, it is Kobah. You know what I'm saying? Kobah. Ban Yasha Allah, but not Yasha Allah. You understand what I'm saying, man? Like, it's so wicked, man. Just go ahead and do your 90 days, man, and come into school and get your name, man. Oh, and you know, they felt so good for me to get my name. You know, that was an experience that it felt real good because I earned it. You know what I'm saying? Come earn your name, man. Stop trying to name yourself because it holds no weight. It's in vain. You understand what I'm saying? But so that's when Jacob got his name changed to Israel, and that's how we are the Israelites. Because if you know anything about the way that we do things since in the beginning, if you have children, they named after you. So like just like you got the Ham, his children are Hamites. You know what I'm saying? Canaan, Canaanites. You understand? Edom, Edomites. Israel are the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We're the 12 tribes of Israel. So that's how he got his name. Now, if you still love the white man after everything that the white man has done to you, man, you need to, for one, you got a mental condition or something. You know what I'm saying? You need to go ahead and come in this truth and stop playing. But we're going to show you where the Most High hates the white man. And we're going to show you in both of the verses. So I want somebody to give me Malachi 1:1, Amadia, and somebody else, anybody else, give me Romans 9:13. Because, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? We got to understand that this is how you know that this is a black man's book again, because it was mentioned twice. And that's how serious it is. The Most High is about this thing. You know what I'm saying? You got Malachi 1:1. Go ahead.
Malachi 1:1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi.
Mm-hmm.
I have loved you, saith the Lord.
It say, I have loved you. Not anybody else. I've loved you. Right?
Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us?
Right. It's like you want the Lord to love everybody. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You want the Lord to love the white man. You want him to love the Arabs because you love them. Because you want to make babies with these people, and you just don't want to face the fact that the Lord is going to destroy these people. You understand what I'm saying? You like, hey, the Lord said, I love you, man. He loved the 12 tribes of Israel, but you want the Lord to love everybody. Keep going.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother?
I mean, wasn't the white man? This is the same thing that what we face with today with these fake Israelites. Wasn't Esau they brothers? Y'all brothers, man. Y'all supposed to stay together and this and that. This is what the Most High said. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord.
Right.
Yet I loved Jacob. Verse 3. And I hated Esau.
Hold on. End of verse 2 and go to verse 3 again.
And I hated Esau.
No, go to the end of verse 2 first.
Saith the Lord, yet I loved Jacob.
But so the Christians will say, well, didn't you, like, Esau and Jacob, they brothers. We just read, right, where they were brothers. But he separated them. And the Most High say, yeah, but Jacob, I love Jacob, right? Go ahead.
And I hated Esau.
And you what?
I hated Esau.
And I hated Esau. So that's the Most High telling you right there. So stop questioning whether or not why the Most High can't love everybody. He clearly said, you come to me say that he said, I love you, but you try to come to me telling me that I love everybody or I should love everybody. The Most High is cutting him, saying, I love you. I love Jacob. You know what I'm saying? I hate Esau, meaning I hate the white man. I love the 12 tribes, the Black, Hispanics, the Native Americans, but I hate the white man. You understand what I'm saying? Go to Romans 9:13. Who got that? Go ahead, read it.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written.
As it is written. What we just read in Malachi 1:1. As it is written, because when it says as it is written, meaning it was written before, somewhere in the Bible. We just read it in Malachi 1:1. Keep going.
Jacob have I loved.
Who?
Jacob have I loved.
It say Jacob have I loved. The 12 tribes of Israel, the Black, Hispanics, the Native Americans. Jacob have I loved. Go ahead.
But Esau have I hated.
But who?
But Esau have I hated.
Hey, but wasn't they brothers?
But Esau have I hated.
So God don't love everybody?
But Esau have I hated.
Y'all get the point. We understand. Go ahead. The water. Most High Christ.
So to add on to that, and also to add on what you're talking about, a very pivotal point is in the same chapter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Amaki, can you read verse 21 for me?
Malachi chapter 1, verse.
No, Romans chapter 9, verse 21.
Romans chapter 9, verse 21.
So, Christians, like we say, so God loves everybody. You know what I'm saying? And we clearly just proved that God does not love everyone. You know? Well, God created everyone, so how can he hate everybody? How can he hate someone that he created?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I like everything that I created, I love. I was like, your children make you mad, don't they?
Right.
You don't love them all the time. They'll probably get on your goddamn nerves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got it?
Come.
Read.
Romans chapter 9, verse 21. Have not the potter power over the clay?
The Most High is the potter. You understand? And the lump of clay is anything that he creates. Go ahead.
Of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor.
Jacob is the vessel of honor.
Right.
And another unto dishonor.
And Esau is the vessel of dishonor. Read.
Verse 22. What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering with vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
So the scripture says in the end that the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
That's right.
And he will use the weak to humble the strong. You understand? So everything that is of Esau, of this nation, you understand, he puffers himself up and thinks that he's mightier than God. And the Lord is going to use his slaves, you know what I'm saying, who he ignorantly forgets that it's his brother, you understand. The scripture says that he's going to send the fishermen and he's going to send the hunters. And we're going to hunt them out of every hole and out of every cleft of the rock.
Yeah, and you know, and to end it off, you had something you want to say? Go ahead.
Just to back up what the brother just said, it's funny how we are called a cult when we actually do our history. We learn history and actually research the Bible. You don't learn who the white man is in the Christian church. You don't learn your own nationality in the Christian church. All you learn is to love the white man, to love white Jesus. But when it comes to the truth, when we put out these history books that cost $15,000 and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? They just want to be taught to love every goddamn body. But that just goes just to show how we they are advanced and they're slacking. It goes to show how much of a slave they are. Like I ain't even use bad words. So, you know what I'm saying? Our people are so goddamn brainwashed, it's horrible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The white man tell you his own history. He tell you he's a Edomite.
Right.
He tell you that God hates him.
Right.
David's stories and has brought this out many times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But we, the only men of the Lord who bring this out and take it to the street to teach the people. The Christian, all the Christians want to do is take your money and molest your kids.
Right.
In that order, you know what I'm saying? They're going to take your money first, then they're going to touch your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's when we come in, we find that ass up.
Right. No sweat. Give me Psalms 137 and 9. I'm going to end it with this. This is probably one of my favorite scriptures, man. It's not probably, this is one of my favorite scriptures. Because, you know, after going through these 400 plus years of oppression and still going through it to this day, and I look at everything that the white man has done to us as a people, and everything that he's doing to us, you know what I'm saying, from molesting our kids to, you know, beating the backs of the men and raping the wife right in front of the man. You know, the woman get pregnant, cutting the baby out the stomach, stomping on the head, feeding the babies to alligators. You know what I'm saying? Shooting us down in the middle of the street. You know, putting false charges on us. I can go on and on. You know what I'm saying? So going from the traditional slavery to modern day slavery. You know what I'm saying? Everything that the white man has done. Guess what? This is the day that I will be extremely happy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna read this. Go ahead and give me that Psalms 137 and 9.
Psalms 137 and verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Happy shall he be.
It say, happy shall he be. And guess what? I'm gonna be very happy. So while you out here loving the white man, you out here want to hold hands with the white man, want God to love the white man, guess what? The Most High hate the white man, and I do too. And this is the day I will be happy for all the things that they have done to us and all the things that they're doing to us. Trust me, this is one day that I will be glad. Just keep going.
That taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
It say, happy shall he be that taketh thy little ones. I'm going to grab their little white babies.
Right.
But I'm not going to even grab it by the ankle. I'm going to grab it by the toes. I hope I pull one of the toes off. I hope I dislocate the big toe while I'm flinging it around like a slingshot, like, you know what I'm saying, like the same slingshot that David had.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to fling that little white baby around and say, do what with it?
Dasheth thy little ones against the stones.
It didn't say just properly lay the baby on the stones. You understand what I'm saying? It say take it thy little ones and dash them on the stones. I'm talking about, and I'm gonna go down the line. I'm just gonna have the babies go ahead and line up. They already know what time it is. You understand? Just put them like in the pig pen. You know what I'm saying? Like have them hurled up. And we're gonna take turns. You know how like we take turns hitting the pinata? We're gonna take turns throwing the babies against the stones. Happy shall I be in that day. You understand? I want to say, you know, pay your tithes to the men of the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand, man. You know, it ain't nothing. We don't hate the white man because they white. It ain't nothing personal. It's just laundry. You understand? It's nothing personal. It's just laundry. You understand what I'm saying? And speaking of just laundry, make sure y'all go Etsy.com. You know what I'm saying? You can go on Facebook, Just Laundry. You can find out the link to the computer. Make your order, man. Get some of this nice smelling stuff, you know, to have your clothes smelling all good. You know what I'm saying? The sisters in truth put in hard work, you know what I'm saying, to make this product, man. Hey, trust me, that's what we wash our clothes with, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't like the laundry, they got different products. You got the scent booster, you got the pods, you got whatever, you know, go on the website, check it out, get you some Just Laundry, man. It's nothing personal, it's Just Laundry. With that, pay your tithes to the men of the Lord, ISUPK.com. Hit the donation button, man. Pay your tithes to the men of the Lord. With that, I'm going to pass the class over to Officer Sean Apostle for the security announcement. Okay, so like it, before we do the security announcement, we have the Passover coming up April 20th. It's never too soon to start preparing for the Passover. Let me tell you this now, because I remember last year was my first time going. I waited till like the last minute, you know what I'm saying, around income tax time. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be good. No, trust me, you want to prepare now because you want to get that nice dress, ladies. I know you want to have that nice dress. Might want to throw some Frenches on that dress. Go ahead and get you some money put to the side now. You know what I'm saying? Because every family will have to pay a fee. So start saving your money now. You know what I'm saying? Get that dress you want. Get the kids right. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, get your garments. You know, prepare for the Passover. It's really, you think it's in April. You think it's like, oh, it's 4 or 5 months away. Trust me, it's right around the corner. It's going to come by so fast. You're going to be like, dang, the Passover next week. I ain't got no garment. I ain't got nothing. Make sure you get to your stuff, man. And make sure you use Just Laundry to wash your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to need some clean clothes for the Passover. Because guess what? I'm going to be out there for a week. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be changing clothes. You know, make sure you get you some Just Laundry, man. And keep them clothes clean, man. With that, pass the class over to Sean Apostle for the security announcement.
Okay. This is the ISUPK security announcement. We are the I.S.U.P.K, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out on 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10 in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to Treasury Department, to our teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocation. The next holy convocation will be the Feast of Purim, which would be on Monday, February 18th, and Tuesday, February the 19th. And the book is Esther, chapter 9, verses 20 through 31. And if any brother or sister to check the bulletin board, if they want to become a trooper in the school, any brother wants to become a trooper in the school, will start wearing all black. That's black boots, black shirt, black pants, black headband or scarf. Speak with the garment department. Shalom.
All right, everybody stand. Sorry. Face the east. Oh, Salakia Majim. Sorry. We're going to say the prayers. First in the Hebrew, then in the English.
Abba Nawah. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemka.
Shemka.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Malak Waka,
Malaka,
the Baha,
the Baha,
Ratazaka,
Ratazaka,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Ayash,
Ayash,
Ba'aratazak,
Ba'aratazak,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Ayah,
Ayah,
Bashamaya,
Bashamayim,
Nathan,
Nathan,
Lanawa,
Nawa,
Lakam,
Lakam,
Kal,
Kam,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalak Lanawa,
Wasalaka Nawa,
Chawap with Nawa,
Hawapi Nawa,
Kasalaka Nawa,